everyone, and welcome to another Meme Stock Meltdown stream. I'm Hannah, your host. Today we're going to be checking in once again on the Meme Stock people who are obsessed with GME, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, and we also have an update on Fyre Fest 2, because frankly that doesn't deserve a whole stream. And, I don't know, this seems like an appropriate stream to stick that news. It's scam-related. MF Baby Cakes, thank you for the 100 bits, says, hi y'all, hello right back at ya. Paradona, thanks for a 255 stream streak. Hello, Just a Peach, how's it going? Hey Nemesaur, Phoenix Leftist, Amber Pretzels, Dr. Baha, Phoenix Leftist, Jay's a Proxy, Freyline, everyone else. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, so we're just gonna take a look at meme stock stuff today. I don't normally stream Mondays, so this is kind of a nice bonus. Yeah. We'll just get into it. So we have Marantz, we have Cosmic Lightning Warrior, and Cosmic Lightning Warrior with Marantz. They actually teamed up. And it's painful. It's incredibly painful. I actually watched most of this, and I think I cut it down to, like, the most interesting 10 minutes or so. So, I think I found the most interesting 10 or 20 minutes of this for us to watch, because the first bit is incredibly annoying and cringe, but in a slow way. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that at some point. And yeah, I don't think I have any other housekeeping other than if you are on YouTube, do me a favor and thumbs up the stream. It helps a lot, please. Especially if you don't normally. If you're a lurker and I'm like, that's not addressed at me, that's addressed at other people. I'm addressing you. Hit the thumbs up. It is not a request. I demand it. I have witch powers. If you're on Twitch, you can always help the channel by gifting subs or becoming a subscriber. Or using bits. We are getting close to the end of the month, and we're getting pretty close to the sub goal. We're less than 60 away. And also, we do have a new tip goal for edited content. It's been quite a while, some years since I made exclusive edited content for YouTube. I'd like to do it again, but I need a push. So that's what the tip goal is. It'll put social pressure on me. I need the pressure. I need to be bullied. Anyway, so let's get into it. I don't think we have any other housekeeping for sure now. Cool beans. Hey, Tea Time Tea, how's it going? Is that knockoff Deadpool, but he talks and sells Bitcoin still around? I don't remember. I haven't covered him in a while, because he used to do the, like, scam CPN stuff. Let me see if he's still around. He used to come up when you typed in stuff like CPN. Let me see if I can find him. Oh, it's so funny that the people talking about CPNs wear fucking masks. Yeah, it's almost like it's a crime, and you're stealing people's social security numbers. I'm not seeing his channel, but it's gotta be somewhere. What is his name? I'm sure I have him somewhere, but I don't recall what his channel name was. It could have gotten banned as well, so it's tough to say. Look what you posted in live chat. I'll take a look. What's a CPN? A CPN is a scam. It's supposed to stand for something along the lines of a credit protection number or a credit something number. Basically, it's a made-up thing that scammers call stolen social security numbers so that they can sell you other people's social security numbers. It's not a real thing. Let me take a look in the live stream chat. Oh god, it's stock picks from what? I'll open this in the thing so you guys can see it. This is on someone's investment club. Good morning, everyone. Mason here. Today's stock pick is Ventus Inc. You can consider buying around $68 with a target price of about $85, suggested position size 20% of your account. Ventus Inc. engages in the acquisition and ownership of senior housing and healthcare properties. It operates through the following segments: senior housing, operating portfolio, outpatient medical and research portfolio, and triple net leased properties. The shop segment is involved in owning and investing in senior housing communities throughout the United States and Canada. And then there is a second one. I'm glad lots of new friends sent me screenshots of their stock positions now after I sent my notification. I'll notify you as soon as I have the latest strategy. Thank you for your trust. Will definitely help you achieve stable profits in the future. The stock market The stock market has always been down more than up lately, and I was just looking at some friends' stock positions, and they're losing very badly. If any other friends have similar problems, please remember to chat with me privately. I'll ask Mr. Mason to give you some advice so that you can reduce your losses as soon as possible. And then the entire group was deleted. Man, I can't believe scammers be scamming. That's pretty funny. All right. Let's take a look at this video from Marantz, which is entitled GameStop Stock is the Truth. GameStop stock is the truth. Which, yes, sounds culty, but that's only because it is.
Well, I told you guys I was going to do a GameStop video. Here's my game.
That's crazy. All his videos are GameStop videos. How could you imagine his next one would also be a GameStop video? Carpcosian, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says I can still get HRT from the VA, which I was expecting to have to sue to still be able to get my girl juice. I'm feeling a little optimistic that maybe he was a paper tiger the entire time, but I'm still on alert. Here's hoping. Hoping.
GameStop video. You know, I get asked, why do I invest in the GameStop? And I really want to tell you guys, because some people were asking me today, Rance, what is it? GameStop. They sell video games. Like, what do you care? What do you... And it's not about that. That's not the story of GameStop. I hope people know. It's not the story of short sellers. That's not true either. It's not about a...
That's what you've been talking... That's like half the thing, is Moass, the mother of all short squeezes, was the narrative that kicked this whole thing off, and you're saying it's irrelevant? Okay.
Short squeeze has nothing to do with that.
How is GameStop still open? Only because of people like Marantz, and I'm not joking. If you don't know what's been going on with GameStop since 2021, it was on track to go bankrupt because their operating losses continued to grow, and they've made less and less profit every year based off their operations, more or less. They've still not been operationally profitable. Marantz will like to point out that they make money on their T-bills, but that's entirely because, again, of people like Marantz. Basically, they don't make money as a core business. What they do make money off of is doing, stock sales. Like, they will do, at-the-market offerings and sell shares of the company to people like Marantz, which has raised them billions of dollars. It's like $4 or $5 billion at this point, basically raised off the backs of retail investors and other institutions trying to take advantage of retail investors. It's fucked up. I think they also took out a loan recently for like $1.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. GameStop's business strategy involves buying Bitcoin. Hey.
GameStop is a company that is... It's like...
Quick reminder that one of the primary marks for CPNs are paranoid, persecuted, complex folks, not to say just plain schizophrenics with the usual delusions. Really, I've mostly seen them... I'm not saying you're wrong, I just hadn't seen that. I have mostly seen them marketed to people who have distressed, credit. And being told, oh, this is a thing that's totally legal, and if you buy this, you can start out fresh, instead of working on your credit, which can be a long, arduous, difficult process.
It's like a mechanism against all things, that are bad. It's the one good thing. And I'll explain it to you guys the best way I can, but let's roll it back. It was like a long, long time ago. There were these rich guys on Wall Street, and you guys know who they are. They're Mike Milken, they're Tony Resler, they're Mark Rowan, Leon Black, a whole bunch of guys from Drexel Burnham Lambert back in the 80s. And those are the guys who accelerated the demise of companies from within. They would issue these junk bonds. And it was like a loan shark. They would give you money, and you couldn't pay them back, so they would bankrupt your company. But it was meant to bankrupt your company. Like, they literally were giving you money to leverage yourself, and you had no way to combat it. You had nowhere to fight it. So as they start giving out money to companies, Wall Street started noticing that, hey, these companies are going bankrupt. These companies are leveraging themselves. They're carving themselves out, and they're offering up all the assets. And so Wall Street went ahead and started getting behind this idea that there could be one winner, two winners, three winners versus the 200 losers.
This is hilarious because he's about to talk about category killer stores, and he talks about them like they're a bad thing. Does Morantz know that GameStop is a category killer store? And, like, he's going to refer to Amazon.com as a category killer, which, like, it's not. That's, like, a completely different thing. Amazon is, like, a sector killer. That's a completely separate issue. The concept of the category killer store applies to things like stores that are the apex and the primary chain store for that thing. GameStop is the retail chain store that sells video games. You remember how there used to be lots of regional and local game stores like Funko Land, stuff like that? We had a Funko Land near me. And then GameStop became a large conglomerate and ate up all those companies, and now they all became GameStops. Yes, EB Games used to be a thing. That's a category killer. Bed Bath & Beyond was a category killer. A lot of these category killer stores have gone by the wayside because of online stuff like Amazon. So Amazon isn't the category killer. Amazon is the category killer. And he doesn't seem to know that, which is very strange to me.
And those winners, well, Wall Street went long on them. Charlie Munger went long on them. Warren Buffett went long on them, on the winners of these certain categories.
I'm not familiar.
Like Amazon.
I'm not familiar with Babbage's, but I'll believe you on that one.
A winner in retail, there's multiple companies that do it. But then you see all the losing companies, it makes you wonder, like, what were they doing? So in the 80s, everyone got into all these corporate companies and started tanking them on purpose. And I've shown
his whole conspiracy about them tanking things on purpose is so interesting. His entire evidence is just, well, these companies failed, so it must have been intentionally. Morantz, do you not think businesses fail? Like, that's part of the mechanism, is that businesses will fail. It's inevitable.
The dots. Like, you can connect all the dots. Yeah, I can connect them all the way to, Bon Marchi, Riches, Federated Stores, Macy's, and connect them all the way to Common Day, Bed Bath & Beyond, and AutoZone, and Kmart, and Sears. I can show you how all these companies go bankrupt. It doesn't matter.
Sears went bankrupt not because it was driven into the ground intentionally, but because it had incredibly inept management that couldn't adapt to the modern day. They couldn't adapt to online presence. They couldn't adapt to stuff like Amazon existing. Were you in a Sears in the last, 5 to 10 years of their existence? The stores were disgusting, disorganized. They just had an outdated, dead feel. And at a certain point, when your income gets low enough, you don't have the money to reinvest into the stores and stuff, and it becomes a vicious cycle where the stores get more and more outdated, customers are more disgusted by them, they don't want to go in, people don't want to work there because they don't think it's a stable job, because who knows if the company's going to be there in 5 years. It becomes this, vicious cycle. When a company goes into these, death throes, it can accelerate quickly, things compound.
I'll talk to you about GameStop. The story about GameStop is that whenever these guys would get into these companies, these private equity firms...
Yeah, Sears does not exist anymore, but that's what he's talking about. He was talking about Sears failing. Well, when you say exist, there is a company that owns, the Sears brand and is using it for some things. And the person who owns it is actually, I think, embroiled in some legal stuff themselves for some sketchy stuff involving selling, I think, bits of Sears back to a different holding company he owned at lower prices, and there might have been some questionable legality there, but that's irrelevant. So Sears as a brand kind of exists somewhere, you know, but it's not what it was. They're not operating stores like they used to.
And destroy the companies from within. Short sellers would then make...
Weirdly enough, the stream was notified as a Patreon member stream. Yeah, on YouTube, it didn't update the title like it's supposed to automatically, so I had to do it manually, but that initial notification sent out the incorrect title from the patron stream, so I apologize for that.
Make a bet on the...
I was having a lot of trouble with my streaming program today, making YouTube work.
Of the company. They got really
But without Bed Bath & Beyond, Hannah never would have cracked her egg by licking a salt lamp. That's not when I cracked my egg. That's what made me trans. Talked about this. I licked a salt lamp at a Bed Bath & Beyond and it turned me trans.
greedy.
Before that, I was a manly man. I liked sports and beer and farts. And then I licked that lamp and it was all just butterflies and sunshine. Beware, people. The Force Femme salt lamp is real.
You know, and most Canadian dollars are tied up into the U.S. funds anyway, but a lot of Canadian short sellers doubled down on these investments, and they had found one, and it was called GameStop.
No, I didn't like sports. I've never liked sports or competition, if I'm being honest.
They said, okay, we have the private equity guys in place. They've leveraged themselves. They've expanded their footprint from X amount of stores to 6,000 stores. And they managed to develop even more debt, and they have no business plan. They're getting to get killed by the category. And digital's winning. Another victim.
Digital is winning. The share of digital game purchases over physical has increased every year over year for the last, 10 years.
For Amazon. And that was the bet against GameStop. Every single short seller was out there saying these guys are done because private equity's on the board of directors.
No, they were saying it's done because their business model's outdated, and it still is. They are still not making an operating profit after all this time. The only reason they still exist is because of the people like Morantz. Which is funny, because I say that and he should be ashamed of that or embarrassed, but I imagine he would hear that and go, hell yeah, bitch. Not realizing he's getting taken advantage of by Ryan Cohen.
Destroying the company from within. It's a playbook that's always been out there for all these companies. And the true story is Ryan Cohen, who is private equity himself.
Jay-Z says, I had no clue you were trans for months when I first saw your videos. I will trust you on that, but I find that so crazy. My dysphoria, when I look in the mirror, when I look in this camera and look at the... I can see what you guys see. I have a whole thing that lets me see on the screen what you guys see, so I can see myself. Look, it's me. It's my hat. I can see me. Look, there's... without looking, I can tell you. I'm poking the Rem Lazar thing. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know how someone could look at me and not know, but whatever.
Who went ahead and leveraged himself and did a hostile takeover.
Diogenes, thanks for 13 months with Prime.
At GameStop, Ryan Cohen, who is the inventor of Chewy.com, who's been building websites since he was 15 for e-commerce. Ryan Cohen.
He says, I'm not gonna, denigrate anyone for, that, but, lots of kids back in the day were doing HTML websites. That was, a thing. That doesn't make him a wunderkind because he knew how to fuck around with HTML in the 90s. That was pretty common.
Cohen, who paired up and was at Chewy with Mark Vadden, who Mark Vadden battled Amazon with Blue Nile and Zulily, came over, the whole group got together and they had this idea. We're going to find another category that Amazon's not good at, and we're going to beat them. And it was video games. And they went in there and they bought it. They bought GameStop.
Everyone was making little websites back then, like the "Hello, My Future Girlfriend" website. Does that still exist? Hold on. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Sorry, I gotta. Does this exist still? No, no, no one's saved it. That's a shame. That makes me very sad. Oh wait, did someone recreate it? Allow. Is this gonna be it? No! Okay. Anyway, it was a website basically where a kid made this HTML web page that's quite, it's a kid being silly. Let's put it that way. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub again. Thank you very much.
And when they bought GameStop, they realized, you know what, we can make it a profitable company. We can push out private equity. It's not valued the right way.
I have 3 viruses. Excuse you, it said I had 5 viruses.
It's not priced the right way.
Don't undersell my viruses. I can fit so many viruses in this baby.
And that's where Roaring Kitty says, you know what? This company's undervalued. So for Ryan to come into it, yeah.
It's important to point out that Roaring Kitty was wrong about his thesis. Like, GameStop did end up going up in 2021, but it was due to, like, COVID, stimulus checks, and people having a bunch of time to spend online, culminating in people jumping on this thing as a meme. That's what made it a meme stock. His actual thesis as to how the company's income would go was completely incorrect. So he happened to win while he was wrong.
It's a match made in heaven. 5 years later, what do you find out? GameStop has pushed out all of the private equity. They've taken complete control of their company. They are a profitable company, and they have
Not operationally.
$6.2 billion of cash to their name.
Holding on to billions of dollars in cash and not spending it, believe it or not, is actually a bad business decision. I don't know if you know this, just holding on to cash and putting it into T-bills isn't a very good business decision, because opportunity costs are a thing. You could be using that money to build something, to buy something, and they're just basically sitting on it because Ryan Cohen doesn't want the book value to drop, because at some point he wants to check out of this, and he's gonna profit, that's for damn sure. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs and kicking off a hype train.
It's the 4th largest
I'll take a look, Carol Devilman.
amount of cash of any retail company in America. They're untouchable. They're titans in this industry, and they have the ability to do whatever they want now. And that's what they're doing. But the story of GameStop is that private equity came in, the short sellers bet on it, and they all lost. Now all you have to do
Not Marantz, though. He definitely didn't lose.
is buy the company,
43% to level 4 on the hype train.
wait for Wall Street to admit defeat, and you win. It's the easiest investment you'll ever make. But that's exactly what's happening. And right now you see the battles of Wall Street. You see them pushing down GameStop on 0 volume, on no news. They come out.
Have you considered it's going down because the market overall has been incredibly volatile recently due to tariffs, due to instability in the leadership of the government? You know, the guy you voted for, Marantz?
With an earnings report, and they go out.
Marantz making 3% gains over 5 years. I don't even know if he's in the green at this point. He might be just slightly.
Earnings report, not only is it a surprise of like 1,800%, it literally went from $6 million of profit all the way to 131 for the year. And their cash is still growing. They have 0 cash burn. So this is a company that you can...
They do have somewhat of a burn. It's not much, but they're losing money. The entire reason that their losses were cut over the last 3 or so years is because they've shrunk their footprint significantly. They're making a loss on their stores. So as they cut stores, they're cutting operations, so they make less of a loss because they're making a loss for every dollar they make, basically, because the business model doesn't work. So yes, Marantz, I would agree, they're making less of a loss, but that's because they have less of a business.
could mimic and or scale, or if that leadership...
He's in the black, he'll take that as a win, even if it's like 0.1%. He might as well have just shoved the money in a mattress at that point.
team, you give them money.
Again, with opportunity cost.
They do things and they create partnerships like the PSA partnership. You know, GameStop almost sold more collectibles, PSA graded cards, than used video games, or than any video games, than all software.
That doesn't seem very good considering their core business is video games. I understand that, like, trading cards are having a moment right now. That's what I've heard, at least, is that trading cards, Pokemon, Magic, sports cards are, like, pretty big right now amongst younger people. But you can't expect that trend to necessarily go on in perpetuity. That happened in the 90s, too. Remember how big Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Magic were in the 90s, and there was a huge thing? And of course, those hobbies have continued, but they was a long lull where it wasn't as big as it was in the 90s when every kid had Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? So if in 3 to 5 years, the trend of kids being into Pokemon cards again goes down, and they've hollowed out even more of their gaming business in that time, what are they left with?
It was like equivalent 20%. So
cards had a big resurgence in 2020 and 21. The iron should have been struck then, not in 2025. They have typically been late to the party on some things. They did the NFT store that they did, like, way after that was, like, a buzzword. Minute left in the hype train. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, I think we should also consider the opportunity cost Marantz pays by wasting his time on all these videos. Very true. Literally, he could have gotten a job at, like, Wendy's or something in his spare time and made more money than he's made on making these videos, I think. Fedekagami says, I never heard that lore story before. Does that mean your sperm donor went to war with BBBY for transing his kid? On a positive note, my family attended my trans cousin's lesbian wedding. My mom seemed to have gained some understanding from the experience, and I saw more of my family there than expected. I actually haven't talked to my dad since I came out. Fun fact, have I never mentioned that? I have not said a word to my dad since I came out. I was already no contact with him when I came out.
Are they
I've heard through the grapevine how he feels about it, which is surprise, not positive, but I've never talked to him about it, luckily. Thanks for the hype train.
Video game store, or are they now a collectible PSA partnership store? That's exactly what they're doing. They'll do whatever it takes to make another dollar, and the margins increase.
JC says, we are your father now. Are you proud of me, chat? Are you proud?
But the legacy side of this business is one thing for everyone to see what it's worth and why they're...
Is Marantz actually his name? I guess I actually don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to look into it.
winning and why you should be invested. It's just not just the legacy. So, like, when they come at you and they say, why are you investing in GameStop? And you say, why are you not? Why don't you understand that Ryan Cohen is this billionaire who's invested into multiple things, and he's triumphant. He's a winner at everything. He's winning at GameStop. Private equity's gone. They pushed him out. The vulture capitalism, right? The vultures in private equity. Not the
Am
good
I eating my vegetables? Are fries a vegetable?
guys. There's some good guys, and then there's some bad guys. It really is that way. There's really good guys out here trying to build things. Then there's some private equity where they're trying to destroy things. You just have to know the difference. So if you ever want to buy GameStop, or you ever want to tell someone why you're in GameStop, let this video speak for you. I promise you, it's a true story. Boston Consulting Group, KKR, all of the above. They had everybody on the board.
Missing the days Marantz would come in chat and try to tell us he's a secret genius. I know, I banned him from YouTube chat. Some days I regret it.
Directors at GameStop.
But today's not one of those days.
And now those board of directors that were once at GameStop are in multiple other companies, ruining them from within. I expose it the best way I can.
Twitch chat walking Hannah down the aisle. Mr. Blast walked me down the aisle. But that would be funny, me just with an iPad and you all just shit posting.
And I put a video series called Connect the Dots. There are 91 episodes. Watch one. Watch them all. You'll learn a lot. What I've learned? I've learned.
No, wait, I did the dance. No, I did a dance with Mr. Blast. My grandpa walked me down the aisle.
There's been this
Sorry. Woo.
full of executives
conflating shit on my own wedding. I'm too old for this shit.
Been hand selected to do the wrong
Didn't my shitty dad show up a few years ago and we all shit on him? Oh yeah, that was quite a while ago.
thing every time for their companies. Overextend. Say,
Mr.
oh,
Blast was the officiant, and I did a dance with him. My grandpa walked down the aisle.
man, we shouldn't have did
Very nice of him.
those share buybacks with all that cash that we no longer have. All while collecting fees. All while collecting those.
Did he walk us? My grandparents, sorry, a lot of that day's a blur now. My grandparents came in, they were introduced. Mr. Blast walked us both, and he was the officiant, and then my cousin did a speech. Okay.
Those
I
bonuses.
had it fucked up in my head.
And
Sorry, I'm off topic. ADHD brain. Focus.
hiring new people for their companies that have once again bankrupted other companies. I don't understand how you could bankrupt a company and fail and get hired again, and multiple people get hired for it every time. And I follow that. So anyway, a lot of you guys ask me why I'm invested in GameStop, and from now on I'm going to point you to this video. It's not that I'm just not, I am a video game guy, and that's why, I love video games, and I give away all the free stuff to the kids, and I support Pokemon and collectibles, all that, but it's because private equity tried to push GameStop to bankruptcy, and they try to use the media, they try to give it this persona that it's a failed company, that everything's digital, and it can
What
never...
games does he play? I know he plays Goat Simulator 3. Showed that in a video recently. Which I do like Goat Simulator 3, so fair enough.
Make a profit. What are we doing? All those guys who said all of that, Michael Packers of the world, Wedbush, Analyst Securities.
I think he's a fairly casual video game player.
Tell me, guys. You tell me if they made a profit this year. In the world of making a profit, GameStop did that in an economic downturn where everyone's talking about tariffs and shrinking footprints and going to be in a recession for 2025. Not GameStop. GameStop showed growth in profits, growth in margins, and literally growth in cash. That should be worth something.
And their business model is still dog shit.
Wall Street. Alright, that's enough. You guys have fun. If you guys don't want to buy GameStop, then don't.
Okay.
But maybe you want to know who the hell Ryan Cohen is, who Larry Chang is, who Alan Adel is, who Jim Groupie is.
Their religious, obsession with Ryan Cohen is so strange.
I do my best to remember everyone, but, they have an impeccable team. I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's the number one cause for dry skin? Towels. Peace.
What? I don't understand. Oh, I get, because it's like a joke. I get it, because it dries your skin. It's a joke. I get it. Alright, let's watch him and Cosmic Lightning Warrior try and out-cringe each other, I guess. I warn you, this is a little painful, but we'll do it. That's fine. Oh, there's a little bit of a weird echo throughout it. It gets a little better, but yeah, Cosmic Lightning Warrior doesn't know how to run his streaming software despite being a streamer for years, so.
Listen, I saw a lot of people bitching and complaining about me asking you to be on here. I don't really care because I like you. I think you're great. As far as I know about you, and you're wearing a GameStop shirt, which I really like. Your hat's on backwards, which I do sometimes. Those things are great.
We're both bros, we wear our hats sideways sometimes to show we're youthful, Gen X. Is this what you've wrought? This is what Gen X is, by the way. Sorry to all my Gen X viewers. I'm sorry. I promise. I'll take a shot at my own millennials soon. Oh.
Great. You got American flag on. I got American flag on. I mean, these are things that we care about.
We care about GameStop. We care about American flags. End of list.
These are good things. You got
Goat
games
Simulator,
next to you.
brother.
What is that?
Goat Simulator 3.
Best game ever.
Hell yeah. It's a me simulator, baby. And it's a Tom Brady or me simulator if you really think about it deeply. But Marantz,
Why does he look like a WWF reject? This is his whole thing. He puts on face paint. Whatever. I'm not going to critique someone's gimmick. I'm wearing a witch outfit. Bittergrin says, I'd apologize on behalf of my generation, but like, whatever, man. Baja says, your grandpa lent us a super nice sound equipment and set it up, which is what I think you're thinking of because it was insanely generous of him. Yes.
there's people. One of the things I saw is there's like, oh, he's going to sell at 5,000 or something like that. Which, you know,
Yeah.
Is that your number?
I got over 1,000 shares. What the fuck? That's $5 million. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Basically, Cosmic Lightning Warrior on the left is big on saying, like, I'm not ever going to sell my shares. I'm not going to sell even if they get to $1 million per share. And he kind of wants Marantz to espouse that, but Marantz doesn't say that. So
I never have to work a day in my life.
Well, here's what I want to say. That is like, everybody's going to either way, no matter what we say or what I say or what you say or me screaming about 10 million. I say these things because that is the reality of.
Marantz should play Oblivion. Everyone should play Oblivion. It's a great game.
If we held, they have to buy back
You know how much cheese is in Oblivion? A lot.
all the shares.
In Oblivion, cheese is an alchemy ingredient. I want a cheese potion.
When they're forced to.
Sure.
Now, whether or not they're forced to or not, and whether or not there's some way to wiggle out of it, it seems like there's always a way for them to wiggle out of every single thing that gets thrown their way.
It's almost like there's no wiggling at all. It's almost like you're just investing in a poorly managed company. Huh.
So,
Should Oblivion play Oblivion? Yes. Oblivion squared.
part of me as a human wants everyone to say, take the money when you can take your money at a high enough point. But I understand that if we all hold, the money continues to go up because we get to set the price. And that part is why
You can't afford it and your PC can't handle it. If you have Game Pass, I think they do streaming, which it depends on your internet connection, how stable that will be. I have fiber internet, so in my experience, the streaming has been okay. I haven't had to stream it because I have an Xbox, so I can download it. But I have done Game Pass on my tablet streaming sometimes. And it's okay. So if you're okay with that, maybe consider it. I think it's like $20 a month for Game Pass, but they do like a free month if you just wanted to use a trial month to play Oblivion.
why you can even get to 5,000.
Year to date, GME is down nearly 11%. It is. It is. Also, when they say it's up and to the right, let's look at the GME chart. Oops, that goes to GME Meltdown. The GME chart for 5 years after the thing is pretty much only right and down. It's primarily right and down. It's been pretty flat over the year, except for the beginning of the year, it had some spikes. But, like, nah, man. It's interesting that they act like it's so good.
In the first place. So with everyone else in mind,
Has the streaming worked all right, Amber?
holding is the main way, and then that is when you start playing the real game. Because Marantz, what I want to do is be the last one to sell. I want to sell at the highest point. That's what my goal is. I want to be the winner of selling at the highest number.
That's not even how any of this works. That's not how the stock market works. That's not how any of this works. Fenikagami says, as a funny story about my dad, he had narcissistic tendencies when I was young, and it took 20 years of divorce and getting a new wife for him to become a man I'm kind of proud to call my dad. The funny thing is, when he moved in with his now wife, he was convinced me and my brothers would be upset about it, but I looked at him and told him, honestly, Dad, I think she's too good for you. If anything, I'm upset for her, not at her. I'm glad in your case your dad self-reflected and became a better person.
goal in
So,
life.
can I tell you something, cousin?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I want to explain something to you.
Marantz told a story today about how he got up in someone's face at a hospital because he was wearing an anti-Trump shirt. Do you have a link to that?
That makes GameStop
Or could you tell me the title of the video?
different. It makes GameStop the next Apple.
Because I don't think you can actually paste links in YouTube chat. If you just tell me copy-paste the title, I'll find it.
Okay.
All right. Tell
In
me.
the 90s, The whole world wrote off Apple. Apple had no identity. They have to hire. They have to come back and say, you know, Steve Jobs, this guy's going to get us on the map. Financial crisis happens, or actually the dot-com bubble happens. Comes all the way down, and they launch a new product called the iPad. I'm so sorry, the iPod.
Does GameStop have an iPod? I don't mean literally an iPod. I mean, do they have... And even Cosmic Lightning Warrior is going to bring this up. In order for this comparison to work, GameStop would have to release a generation-defining piece of technology. Like, the iPod, the classic iPod with the click wheel, is basically synonymous with the early 2000s, with, like, the era from, like, 2003 to, like, 2008 or so. It's to the point where, like, we're probably about to get to the point where we're going to get some nostalgic early 2000s movies and TV shows and stuff. I'm sure you're going to see iPods all the time. You know what I mean? So, I don't think GameStop has that. They're a retail store. They sell products other people make for the most part. So, I don't foresee them creating something.
In 2000,
is GameStop gonna find a Steve Jobs? No, you don't understand. He thinks Ryan Cohen is their Steve Jobs. Don't look past the point that Steve Jobs had already had a quite successful period at Apple previously, with like the Newton and the Apple II era, and then had been fired due to a bunch of issues and came back. No. Ryan Cohen is clearly as good of a salesman as Steve Jobs.
One.
Yes, Morance's audio is weird. Cosmic Lightning Warrior has it doubled somehow.
Of October.
I think he probably has Morance's call as an input, and he has his desktop audio as an input, so it's duplicating it, giving it a weird echo noise.
iTunes and iPod are running in 2001. You know what happened in September of 2001? It was the biggest financial crime ever, knocking down the buildings.
Morantz just called 9/11 a financial crime. Morantz just called 9/11 a financial crime. Let's go back and listen to that again. Okay, that's bad. That's bad.
2001 was the biggest financial crime ever, knocking down the buildings.
What the fuck, Morantz? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? H-Baird says, wait, iPods caused 9/11? No, Kermit the Frog caused 9/11. Google it.
But Apple was 42 cents, the equivalent of 42 cents.
Does he know people died? You know, you'd think.
They had this resurgence. They build back. They go great. The stock goes crazy.
What year?
Over the next 20 years, 25 years, they developed the iPhone. They developed. You have to refresh your memory. I know it just started for me too. You said hit refresh and it comes back. Been doing that to me too, brother.
The iPhone, the iPad, the iMac, the MacBook Air, the various MacBooks, the desktop setups they have, the $900 stand for the desktops.
Whatever.
You can mention you can know Apple products, Morantz. It's fine.
YouTube. They go ahead and they form this company that continually changes and
it's not been 25 years since 9/11. I mean, almost. We're 1 year away. Oh wait, no. Wait. No, right? We're 1 year away from that.
These new items.
Am I doing math wrong? Because 9/11 was in 2001. So yeah, next year. You can round up on that, I think. I'd round up to 25 years on that.
Whole different identity. 25 years. Now, if you were to sell for those 42 cents you were buying, the share, the equivalent, sell for 180, what the hell are we? Where are we? We're on the moon. You couldn't imagine that transition and pivot for a company. I'm telling you right now, we're Apple of 2001. Without a doubt.
Based on what? You can't just say it.
We're literally...
What's this? Texas mother arrested after bringing Jell-O shots to 5th grade classroom party. Did she make regular Jell-O and then Jell-O shots and mix them up? Teresa Isabel Bernal was charged with an injury to a child in connection to a party. Purchased the Jell-O shots from a home business she found on Oh, did she not realize that they were alcoholic? Is she an idiot? What? What? She didn't know the shots contained alcohol. What an idiot. What does she think Jell-O shots are? What the fuck? Also, who's selling Jell-O shots on Facebook Marketplace? What the fuck? Who's buying Jell-O shots on Facebook Marketplace? What the fuck? I'm not gonna let a stranger mix my drink or make a Jell-O shot for me. What the shit? What the fuck?
Literally 25 years away. So as people try to give you a price target, and they're like, when's the Marines? Guys, I'm not selling, dude. I'm sorry to tell you this. Excuse my language, but fuck your price targets, people. I don't need to sell to find value for my company. I don't need dollars in my pocket. I don't need shit. I go to work,
Input, how you doing?
and I go buy more. And I'm going to keep buying more. My original plan was to just sell, and my wife doesn't have to work anymore. Well, guess what? Get to the damn time clock, babe, because I need more shares. I'm going to keep.
Did you hear that?
My original plan was to just sell, and my wife doesn't have to work anymore. Well, guess what? Get to the damn time clock, babe, because I need more shares. I'm going to keep working, and I'm never selling.
Does he feel good about that? Now, to be clear, people aren't necessarily owed to be, taken care of by their spouse where they don't have to work. It'd be nice if life worked that way, but it doesn't necessarily. But the fact that he's willing to frame it like that is like, I wanted my wife to not have to work. But now I've decided, fuck that, clock in, bitch. I need to buy more GameStop shares. Like, that just has a stank on it that makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm not a fan of that.
Said this for 4 years, I'm never selling, and I'm not selling.
Do I have a P.O. box I can send you Jell-O shots? I am a recovered alcoholic, so please do not send me alcohol of any kind. It would be fine. I'm not like, to be clear about my alcoholism, I never feel the want to drink anymore. A lot of that was coping with being in the closet and like being stressed about my transition soon after I came out of the closet. But like, don't send it to me just because it would go to waste. Like, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash if you send me alcohol, because I'm not gonna drink it.
So I want people to know there's more to the story, more to the journey, and nobody's giving it value yet. But they will. They will. It's gonna be an amazing day. It took 3 years to give value to the iPod.
Oh, you're fine, Orion. I figured you forgot. Not a big deal.
2001 price didn't change on the stock to 2004. Don't worry. I'll remind you.
Well, you heard it here. He's not selling. But
not selling.
But the Apple comparison, I don't know if that's, I mean, from a business standpoint, perhaps, but product standpoint, I don't know what they have that's so revolutionary that every person would have one in their pocket. Because that's basically what happened.
We're there. We're doing Web 3.0 gaming. We're talking
Web 3.0 gaming. Marantz doesn't even know that VC Capital, ATM machine. Marantz doesn't even know that venture capital has already moved away from the Web 3 buzzword. We're already in the mid to late stage of the AI buzzword. Who knows what the next bullshit flim-flam tech bro buzzword will be, but we are multiple layers past Web 3. Bittergrin says if he's never gonna sell, then what's the point of spending more money? It's just religious to him at this point. Yeah, it's basically doctrine. Crazy.
We're talking this platform that you want to sell games. And
what's with the mask? That's face paint. He's wearing face paint. It's just part of his gimmick.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. I didn't know GameStop was going to do PSA graded cards, and they were going to increase PSA's value and cards that they take in, tenfold. PSAs had to grow their shops, had to hire more employees. That's the GameStop effect. You see, there are GameStop investors waiting to buy shit.
I apologize. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I had like a really bad acid. I have acid reflux, for those who don't know. I had a really bad acid reflux come up and. So I apologize for that. Woo!
And they're waiting for Switch 2s, they're waiting for Grand Theft Auto. There's only so many video games, right? But if you go, hey, I got this new thing, guess what we all do? We go invest in that ecosystem. GameStop announces another partnership, another deal. Every GameStop investor is going to go do that. We support this investment more than just a product, at the till. So, I mean, how many of these guys have a GameStop tattoo?
Hopefully none.
I got one.
No?
I got one right on my butthole.
Yeah, me too, brother. They think it's a way of life.
No way.
Yeah, Morantz has a GameStop tattoo. For those that don't know, that's a real tattoo he got. I've seen it in closer pictures. I think you should have found a better tattoo guy. No offense. I'm not just being negative because GameStop. I'm really not. If he wants to get a GameStop tattoo, more power to him. It's his body. He should do that, regardless of what I think of the company. If you look at the actual thing up close, it's like spaced not quite right. The quality is not awful, but it's not as good as I would want if I was putting something on my body permanently, you know?
Look at that. Look, you guys are not built like me. I'll die for this company, and people think I'm crazy.
I will die for this company. He's talking about a video game pawn shop. He'll die for the video game pawn shop.
I'm not crazy. I know what it is. I know what Ryan is. I know what I am.
Damn.
I'll buy every share myself, Cosmic. I'll be there, bro.
I mean, I do like that.
Yeah,
I do like that
I'm
GameStop
telling you,
logo.
brother. I got a great tattoo artist. He made it just like the symbol on the sign outside.
I love it.
I found him in the channel. He's a GameStop investor. I go to his shop. GameStop paraphernalia everywhere. He's got cases of shit. He's like, don't worry.
Okay, if you go into a tattoo shop for an appointment and they got a bunch of GameStop shit everywhere, maybe don't go there.
Bro, I'm GameStop since 2020. I was like, yeah, you are.
I think that
awesome.
I think the one of the points I was gonna make, and sometimes on my stream I draw, so I can do this really
go
quickly
for it.
as you
You're
can see
an
it, because
amazing
I think this will help illustrate, because I'm a visual guy, so this is cool because I can do this like live on a podcast. So so there's different buckets of people that are in the GameStop community. There's like, all right, hold on, let me draw better. So like, let's say if this is everyone that's invested in GameStop, right? So then this is a big pizza. So there's part of people who are just average investors right here in this slice.
I think that's about where I ended the segment that I thought was interesting. Just very bizarre. They spend 2 hours. This is a 2-hour long stream. We're only watching like 10, 15 minutes of it. They just platitude at each other, basically.
Places, so it's just what it was.
Oh, bro.
They just spend 2 hours hyping each other up, hyping the audience up. They don't talk about anything of substance. I'm sure Morantz would roll his eyes at that or be like, what are you talking about? Because he thinks that a lot of his platitudes are substantive when they are not. And it's really bizarre to see. So if you want to watch it on your own time, that's fine. It's on Morantz's channel. But it is mostly just bizarre watching two adult men hype each other up over a stock that is dead. Or at least, way higher than it should be. Does not function on any sort of basis in reality. Moving on.
Retail's fucking position because retail's
I think this is an AMC ape freaking out.
fucking position. Retail's fucking position because most of us are working paycheck to paycheck. And you gonna say that you're the fucking biggest shareholder and you fucking feel our pain? Fuck you. Okay, I said it. Unless you are living our lives, you do not feel our pain. Unless you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not feeling our fucking pain. Fuck! Okay, I had to get that out. Thank you. Now record that. Anyone Fuck all these fucking fake ass fucking people, man. Fuck. I'm sick and tired of this shit.
This goes on for 10 minutes. Biz with a $3 tip says, I gotta go, but I'm donating $3 to support those affected by the cancellation of FF2. Wait, what's FF2? FF2? What got canceled?
Dude, I am fucking at the fucking bottom of the bottom, dog. He's the only one that fucking calls me by my name. And I fucking respect this motherfucker. And
oh, Firefest 2. Duh.
and he fucking
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit.
doxes me because fucking someone sent him something. Fuck this shit. Fuck this group, dude. Fuck this group. Fuck this community. It's just a bunch of fucking fake ass fucking punk ass little bitches, dude. That's all it is. Fucking punk ass fucking bitches. I'm fucking tired of it, man.
I would just say that if you're gonna go on a 10-minute rant yelling at people, learn more insults. Because if you just call people fake-ass bitches for 10 minutes, it sounds whiny. Gotta be eloquent if you want people to care that you're castigating them.
I don't know. Dude, I'm gonna beat everyone's ass. If I ever fucking meet any of these
That's just a threat.
motherfuckers, dude. Seriously, dude. You don't fucking do this. You don't fucking toy with fucking people's emotions for 4 fucking years or whatnot.
Yes, it is election day in Canada, so if you're Canadian, please go vote.
And then fucking
Who's this guy again? I've never heard of him before. I think he's a random AMC investor who's just mad at the community. He's mad at people in the community because he's struggling and they're just being toxically positive, and he's sick of it.
turn around and fucking just dox them over some bullshit. And I know this is just online and shit like that, but if it was fucking face to face, you wouldn't fucking do this. You would actually have a fucking conversation with the person before you fucking did anything. No, but these motherfuckers online, it's just so quick to just fucking hit that button. Nope, you're not allowed to come up anymore. Fucking 4 years I've been coming up with you, motherfucker. I've been speaking with you, talking with you, loving you, caring about you, speaking good, greatness, love, and all this fucking shit. And all of a sudden, just because somebody shared some stupid ass shit because I was in a stupid space and I said I didn't 100% agree with fucking Adam Aaron, now I'm getting doxxed. I'm fucking tired of it, dude.
Yeah, I heard about that Spokane
Show
Dog
your
Man.
fucking face, dude. Show your face. No, exactly. None of you will show your fucking face. That's the fucking problem. And I think it's fucking bitches that fucking want to separate the community.
Any updates on the AMC guy who got fired from a bank? Yeah, he moved to California for a job. I do have him on the docket. I don't know if we'll cover him today, but he moved to California and got a job.
Community, dude. That's what it's
He's still doing the meme stock stuff, though.
all about, dude. It's all about separating this community because we've already won. Truth right now. This motherfucker says, I am the biggest fucking shareholder. I feel your fucking pain. I know you fucking don't because you ain't working paycheck to fucking paycheck, motherfucker. So, okay, now am I going to get doxxed for that? This motherfucker is a multi-fucking millionaire. I don't want to hear him say that he is a fucking the biggest shareholder and then fucking he's feeling our fucking pain. I don't want to hear that. As an individual, as a fucking human being, as a fucking person that's working paycheck to paycheck, while this motherfucker is eating caviar and fucking his fucking family's set for life, I don't want to hear it. But does that mean that I don't want him as my CEO? No, that's a different fucking story.
He's still got to toe the line.
I've never said that he needs to be fucking out. But I just don't like when he fucking tries to put himself in the fucking retail's fucking position. Because
if I had to put meme stock groups into Hogwarts houses, you can yell at me about that in a second, that's fine. I would say that the AMC apes are Hufflepuff. I will not elaborate further.
Because most of us are working paycheck to paycheck. And you gonna say that you're the fucking biggest shareholder and you fucking feel our pain? Fuck you. Okay, I said it. I said it. I said it. Now does that make me a bad person? But I still think that he listens to us. I still think that he's fucking doing what we want him to do. And I appreciate that. But just please don't come out and say that you feel our pain. Because you don't. Unless you are living our lives, you do not feel our pain.
No, he's not looped. This is just how he's talking.
Unless you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not feeling our fucking pain. Fuck! Okay.
GameStop is Gryffindor because they all think they're heroes working against the evil, like, short sellers. I would say Bed Bath & Beyond is Slytherin, because most of the people involved in that are evil.
Hey, I had to get that out. Thank you.
And there's some Nazis in there, so I think that tracks.
Now record that. Please, send that back. Fuck, motherfucker. And for
Yeah, AMC's at 272. Yeah, their stock has just been doing poorly for a long time. At least GameStop has kept its, like, price inflated. Like, it's a shit company, but the price is overinflated. AMC can't even maintain an overinflated price as a meme stock.
for something. It's covered. It's supposed to be. Fucking pathetic, man. I'm fucking heated, dude. Fucking 5 months ago. 5 fucking months ago. I've been in this play fucking almost 5 years now. Buying, holding, buying, holding, buying, holding. Been in so many fucking spaces. Fucking praising everyone for being here. Sharing love and happiness and positivity. And yeah, all of us.
People living paycheck to paycheck should never buy shares. No. No, 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 no. And I'm not saying people shouldn't necessarily, like, put a little bit away if they can in, like, something like a mutual fund, or I think there are better things than mutual funds at this point that are still low-risk indexes to get into. I'm not super on top of it. But, yeah, no one who's living paycheck to paycheck should be buying individual shares of stocks. They should not be day trading.
At sometimes
Or just focusing on one thing. That's foolish.
we get a little bit negative. Sometimes things are going bad. Sometimes we need to just get shit off our chest. But yet that is used against you. All the positive shit that you said, no, that doesn't matter. Nope, it's just that little bit of, when you were at that weakest point in your life, dude, that's what we're going to attack. That's when we're going to attack.
Okay, we're about halfway through the video. I think
Speak the truth.
I think we probably get it. He's yelling and he's upset. He's upset. He's upset. Get it. Here's another AMC stock person who's upset that AMC was apparently recently named the most hated retail investment stock by some publishing something, some website.
This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only. And anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, please double check your...
Oh, sorry. Alted Undying with a $3 tip says, don't worry, I'll get you into order of Hermes' houses older and cooler. Yes, they are a mage thing. My house is, titleous. It's like Slytherin for adults, and sometimes they summon demons.
Yes, subscribe to the channel. Please double check your notification on, because they are trying their best to make sure that a lot of people don't get access to these videos. They don't want people...
They don't want you to buy shares in a failing theater chain.
...to know about all the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market, especially with the AMC and GME play. Anyway, listen, these guys put out an article, and in this article, they're claiming the 3 most hated stocks. And what stock do you think they have as number 1? AMC. It's absolutely crazy, the fraud and corruption going on with AMC, the way they use mass media to manipulate the stock and try to push their narrative. And the things they're claiming is absolutely crazy. Look what they're claiming. They're claiming that AMC is financially weak, even though the box office, the movie industry is doing great.
Does he not understand that the movie industry could be having an upturn, and meanwhile a specific theater chain could be suffering due to bad business decisions? Like, the overall ecosystem of the sector could be healthy, or at least okay. Meanwhile, people within the sector could be doing poorly due to specific circumstances that only affect their business, or their business model isn't functioning correctly for some reason. I don't know if he gets that.
Cinemarks and IMAX, their stock is doing well. The only stock not doing well is
IMAX are a company that produces cameras and the equipment to show IMAX film. They're not a theater chain.
AMC. So it's not the
The
industry.
movie industry is not doing great from what we understand. Yeah, I actually don't know right now. There have been some hits this year. Minecraft movie I know was huge. I don't know what else. I think Sinners is doing well right now. But yeah, the box office isn't what it used to be. Like, during the peak of, like, when MCU was, like, popular. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever gonna recover to that.
It is either Adam Aaron or it's the Naked Shorters or a combination of the two. And the thing is, the evidence of the abuse, the evidence of the fraud and corruption is overwhelming.
There are a few IMAX standalone movie theaters. I would imagine that they consider that an operating expense and not a center of profit. I would imagine that that's not where they're making money. That's probably a place where they can demonstrate, like, their top-of-the-line equipment and, like, demonstrate demand for the product. But I can't imagine they are making money on their individual theaters. Their profit centers are in selling and designing cameras and equipment for other theaters and for studios to use when shooting their films.
Yet the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI sit on the sidelines while the biggest...
Yeah, I did hear Revenge of the Sith did really well for a re-release, which is crazy to me, because, like, the Star Wars prequels are bad, but, like, whatever. People are gonna like what they like, that's fine.
Financial crime.
Like, I could understand going to see, like, A New Hope or even Empire. I wouldn't even go see Return of the Jedi in the theater. I'd be like, I don't know if I need to see that in the theater.
In the history...
Well, whatever. You want to go watch Anakin Skywalker kill kids? Cool, I guess that's fun.
of the market goes on there.
The third best movie is the live-action Snow White, which is still losing money. Oh, okay, so he's just lying then. That's good.
Watch. They also claim that the volatility is out of control, and the funniest thing to me is that they claim that retail investors are manipulating price movements. Would you believe these guys? They're putting out articles. They're claiming that retail investors are manipulating price movements when these guys every single day create millions of counterfeit AMC shares and call them synthetic.
Anakin Skywalker killing kids. Luke Skywalker wouldn't kill a kid unless it was his nephew, and then he'll think about it for a second.
And then they push a majority of the trade volume into the dark.
What do I mean by even Empire? Empire is the better movie. I just phrased that wrong. Empire, order of Star Wars movies in the order I personally like them. Empire, The Last Jedi, controversial. A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, Star Wars Episode 3, Star Wars Episode 1, Rise of Skywalker at the bottom. I was only doing the numbered, not the spin-off movies. The prequels are great. What? I'm not getting into this. That's not the theme of the theme of the stream today is not Star Wars. The theme of the stream is meme stocks.
So it doesn't affect positive price movement, but they claim that retail investors are manipulating the price movement of AMC. Let me tell you guys something. If AMC wasn't such a problem to them, they wouldn't be doing these articles all the time.
Did I forget episode 2? Episode 2 goes right above Rise of Skywalker, my second least favorite. Episode 2 is hard to sit through. I can sit through episode 1. Episode 3 is the most entertaining of the prequels, but even that I don't really like.
get us to sell our.
I missed the critical reevaluation bandwagon. Prequels are great now. The critical reevaluation bandwagon is just people who grew up watching the prequels when they were children, growing up and liking them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They're fun movies for kids, basically. It's Star Wars. That's what it's supposed to be. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
AMC shares. Okay? They allocate a lot of time and a lot of resources and their buddies in mainstream media to push the narrative that AMC is a terrible company, while at the same time they are invested in IMAX and CNX and they're all making money. AMC is making revenue, but the way that money is being spent, in my opinion, is very, very questionable. Okay? And I'm not telling anybody to buy, hold, or sell AMC. I'm just telling you that I don't like the way AMC is being run. And I don't like the fact that there's overwhelming evidence of fraud and corruption in the AMC play. And
I like that he just keeps saying it with no evidence.
Aaron,
I don't know if you guys recognize this guy. This guy's been around for a while. He was literally in Dan Olson's meme stock video like 2 years ago or whenever that was.
is doing absolutely nothing
A year ago, maybe. My sense of time is borked.
about it. MULN started a lawsuit for the naked shorting. NWBO started a lawsuit for the naked shorting. MMTLP started a lawsuit for the naked shorting. But somehow, the stock that's being more naked shorted than any stock in the market, the CEO of that company has not talked to attorneys, has not filed a lawsuit to protect their shareholders.
Also Undying with the $3 tip says, I think what the prequels have going for them is the fantastic Clone Wars television series. They needed that for the sequels, but fell short. Yeah, I haven't seen Clone Wars, the series. I've heard it's good.
In Mexico since September.
Okay, so let's get into the Fyre Festival thing real quick. The Fyre Festival 2, was canceled. Here is Billy talking about it in an impromptu interview on the street.
To happen, we do this.
Fyre Fest is for sale, exactly.
Sure. So I'm sure you guys saw the news.
Oh, and they're selling it. Billy is now trying to sell the Fyre brand. You know, the incredibly worthwhile Fyre Festival brand that he thinks is worth a ton of money.
We've been working in Mexico since September to make Fyre Festival 2 happen. We do this big announcement. We do a press conference with the government of Playa del Carmen. And then 4 days after the press conference, they publicly...
Not canceled, just postponed, right? Nope. They postponed it, and now they canceled it.
said they'd never heard of Fyre.
Or at least he's selling it, and if anyone else wants to do anything with it, they can. But he's done. He's done attempting.
So after that, we were, looking for new locations and trying to figure out the best option for the brand. We have a great Caribbean country that reached out to us, but I'm just so scared that the same thing happens again, where we announce Fyre there. The New York Times calls them all day long, and they're like, who's Billy? We never heard of him. So I think it was like the long and hard realization that, Fyre is way bigger than me, and I'm holding Fyre back. So if I'm not in charge and I pass the reins off to somebody else, I think the brand can go in.
He's incredibly delusional. Like, in fairness, he might be completely aware that the brand is worthless and bullshit, but he needs to sell it, And if I'm trying to sell a car, I'm not going to tell you it's a piece of shit car. I'm going to talk up the car, So I'm hoping that's what he's doing here, because if he genuinely believes that the brand Fyre Festival is like a sought-after brand that has a positive public image, that's completely delusional. Like, that's crazy.
Flourish, and unfortunately, I'm holding it back at this point.
Well, so you think you are holding it back? Is it because your name's attached to it?
I think my name is attached to it, and the combination of Fyre and Billy just creates such a massive media wave right now that it just scares a lot of people off. And privately, they're very supportive. they're giving us everything we need to make Fyre Festival 2 happen. And then once it goes public, people just get scared.
Yeah.
So I think that if a bigger company who has the infrastructure to handle like this media wave could run with Fyre Festival, the vision could be executed. And I want Fyre to succeed more than I want to succeed. So we got to do what's best for the brand.
Yeah. So if you sell it, do you still want to be involved with it, or are you just trying to get some money to help support it? Exactly.
I hope they hire me. So like since 2017.
Does that make any sense? I think I'm toxic for the brand. But also, you should buy the brand from me and hire me. So we'll be in the same situation, except now you're involved and you pay me a salary. What? Yeah, he desperately needs the money because he owes people like millions of dollars. I know. It's just funny that he's so blatant.
Fyre has been the most talked about music festival in the US for 8 years now. So
Okay, it's not the most talked about festival in the US. It is the most talked about lack of festival in the US. Did he forget he's never successfully put on a festival? He keeps calling it a festival. We're the most talked about festival. You didn't do a festival, Billy. You have had you and I, Billy McFarlane, have produced the same number of music festivals. I just want to put that out there. In chat, collectively, all of us, likely, have put on the same number of music festivals as Billy, which is 0. There is a white space shaped like a music festival where his product is. It does not exist. It's an illusion. It never existed.
We've proven the ability to get attention around it. I think we've proven the concept. I just don't have the capital. And
how have you proven the concept? You have failed to do it twice. I called him delusional. Yes, I did.
Infrastructure to make this happen on the biggest scale. And I don't have the ability to make people stand by their word.
Yeah.
And it's really easy for someone to say, oh, we don't know Billy, when things go bad. And so I need a bigger company to stand up who kind of has that backbone.
So would you say Fyre Fest 2 didn't happen because your name was attached to it?
Yeah, I think Fyre Festival 2 is facing headwinds because of me. And if a other company is the one who's front and center leading the charge, it's going to succeed.
You sold tickets to Fyre Fest 2, correct?
Yeah, so all individual ticket buyers have been refunded. We'd still love to honor them in some way at Fyre Festival 2, but ultimately this is up to whoever buys the brand.
So everyone who put money into Fyre Fest 2 got their money back?
Yeah, all the ticket holders are.
Why am I supposed he wants to be an employee? Someone being delusional doesn't make the specifics of the delusions less surprising.
Been refunded.
At what point do you
I can know someone's delusional, but if they put their pants on their head and start dancing around and go, I'm the jolly leprechaun, I'm the jolly leprechaun, I'm still gonna be like, wow, that's crazy.
Find a normal job.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that, or are you just too closely?
Side note, I am the jolly leprechaun.
Obviously, you're an entrepreneur. You want good intentions, but have you thought about just trying to get a normal job or applying for jobs?
So the last 2 years have really been focused on.
Imagine Billy McFarlane having to do a real job. That would be funny.
On building Fyre 2, and it was doing it honestly.
If he got a job at McDonald's, he'd probably get caught skimming from the till.
It was doing it to try to make the dream of Fyre come alive and doing it to pay restitution. So I've continued to pay restitution, and I think now we've proven the allure of the brand, right? And I think I've also proven that I can't control the media and I can't stop people from going back on their word once the media goes live, but hopefully I can find a good buyer to actually make Fyre Festival 2 happen, and that's my dream, that's the goal right now.
Have you made any money? In the past 2 years, you paid some, you owe money, correct?
Yeah, I owe a lot of money. Personally, I do marketing consulting work. I do TV appearances. I do interviews. I earn a living.
Yeah.
But, Fyre Festival 2 has not made money, but I'm confident we can find a new buyer who can make it all happen.
So how much do you think it's do you know what it's valued at? And
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
Chat, if you haven't heard this, if you've already seen this video, don't answer. How much do you think he thinks it's worth? How much do you think he thinks that the brand of Fyre Fest is worth? The branding, the rights to use the name, whatever. How many figures? Because he says it in figures. He says, you know, X figures. People getting close.
No?
I don't know. It's got to be 8 figures, right? It's the most talked about festival in the U.S. So
8 figures, which would be at minimum $10 million minimum, is what he thinks this is worth. And once again, he called it the most talked about festival. It is the most talked about lack of a music festival. Whoever came up with the phrase, all publicity is good publicity, is an idiot. I'm gonna put that out there.
hopefully pretty good, but I truly have no idea. And someone could give us $100, someone can give us, tens of millions of dollars. I truly don't know.
You sold the IP recently for streaming, exactly?
Yeah, for a music streaming platform. So this great media executive...
Is that like Spotify, but I give them money and they don't let me listen to music?
John Wretch, he's kind of a badass. He did the True Blue Network, which has been wildly successful, and he licensed the Fyre IP for a music streaming and a video on demand platform.
Yeah.
Fyre retains like a small percentage of ownership of it, so we'll support him, and he's a badass. And
really good to get into the streaming market right now. It's not oversaturated as it is or anything.
I think that's one of many great examples about
Remember Quibi?
Why the Fyre IP is so valuable.
Can you tell us how much you sold that for?
I can't say, but it's a good number.
7 figures?
It's in that range.
7 figures. So you're making, that's good money.
Yeah.
7 figures is good money.
Once again, we have a big company, a lot of expenses, so we have a long ways to go. A lot of people are owed money. It's in the early days of these deals, so we'll see what happens.
Are you applying for jobs?
No, I'm not applying for jobs.
No, you're just still working on this
The
project?
focus is to get Fyre Festival too.
What am I, a poor?
Hands of a great company.
The laugh he gave. No, I'm not applying to jobs. What do you think? I'm one of you fucking people? I don't have to work. I'm a rich white guy. I get to fail upwards forever.
Hopefully they hire me. If not, I'll focus on what's next after we take care of the brand.
Yeah.
I really think that without me, the value of Fyre skyrockets. I think owned by me today, it's worth far less in the second it's owned by somebody else. So I just want to find that right person. In the past, hour, we've gotten dozens of offers already. So we have to vet them out.
You're getting offers for Fyre
Yeah,
Fest?
it's coming in nonstop. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
For the whole thing?
For the whole thing. So let's see what happens. And I truly don't know what it's worth or what it's going to sell for.
That's Bill,
Yeah.
explain to me, because I'm not.
Cicero was the one who came up with no bad press. Is it that old? Okay, I didn't realize that.
Expert in business. No one. I mean, maybe you are, but how Fyre Fest hasn't made any money. So where's the value? Is it just the name, or exactly? Or
I think the value is in the attention engine that we've built around Fyre, right? Whether it's a Fyre streaming service, whether it's a Fyre hotel, a Fyre alcohol,
A Fyre hotel, just throwing out random shit that has nothing to do with what the brand was ever about.
Merchandise. As soon as Fyre is announced, this concept of bringing people together through entertainment, through all these wildfire experiences, it resonates and it tells a great story. So I think that IP is extraordinarily valuable to the right person with the right expertise.
has any big names reached out to you as far as helping out
It
at
was
all?
tongue-in-cheek against Nero. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. So people are taking it literally when it was ironic. Okay.
Or say, I want to... Who's been in your DMs
Yeah.
in the last 2 years?
Who's been
Anybody?
in the DMs?
Anybody big or no?
The toughest part is the private support has been excellent. Then as soon as we go public, everybody gets scared. And literally that happened with the foreign government. They were giving us permits. They held a press conference with us. They posted on their official social media channels that they love Fyre Festival. And 4 days later, it's oh, what's Fyre? Who's Billy? We've never heard of them. So,
do you have documents, like video proof or photo proof that you were... Because you're not allowed to leave the country, correct?
I can't leave the country. But we've been filming a documentary, so we literally have dozens of meetings with the government of Mexico, on camera for a documentary, and they said they never heard of us. So,
You know what would be the funniest thing? If all this was, he knew this was all gonna fail, he never intended to actually throw a second Fyre Festival. He wants to intentionally make a disaster again so he can have the rights to a new documentary. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that would be a very The Producers-esque plot line, where he's okay, I know how we're gonna make money. We put on a fake festival that we never actually intend to do, but we make it a shit show and we film the whole thing and then we sell the footage to Netflix. Sheba Hawk, thanks for 42 months, says Fyre Mall, Fyre sandwich shops, fire extinguishers. We're gonna set everything on fire.
One day the dock's gonna be, fucking insane.
What is your family? How are they doing? What's your relationship with them? Obviously
Yeah,
it's been a difficult last couple of years. What's the relationship like with the family?
I think people are tired of failure, right? Like we came at Fyre too.
I think they're tired of you.
We approached it the right way. Everything seemed to be going well. We had a great location, great hotels, great production partners, and then now we're battling a foreign government who's lying, saying they don't know who we are. So I think it's time to move on. It's time to put this in the right hands and handle this properly.
And you're saying you had a couple offers on the Fyre Fest already?
Yes, we do.
Interesting. So you don't even know what the offers are? It's just
I don't
is
know.
it just interest, or like they want to put out money?
We have like a bidding form, but I think people's, who knows what's real and what's not. And we'll, for the rest of the day today and tomorrow, we'll sift through this. And I think beyond the money, it's finding the right person who can do this as quickly as possible. We have an amazing location that's ready to go. I just don't feel confident doing it by myself. So,
and you want to do it out of the country? Why not in the country? Is that just...
We're considering a local option here. We also have this great Caribbean country, probably my favorite island in the Caribbean, who really wants Fyre too. They've given us all the resources, but we need the proper company to come in who's well capitalized, has the infrastructure, and has the support to handle the madness that will inevitably happen once we announce Fyre Festival too.
All right, man. Well, and let me last. Do you think so? You think that it didn't succeed because was it you? Like, what did you learn from this experience from the first one?
I think once the tidal wave gets so big, people get scared. And ultimately, my job is to bear all of that punishment. So I need to be the punching bag right now and take
Woo-woo, bear that punishment, scam daddy.
take the shots, and then in the background,
Hannah regrets what she just said.
Find the right home for Fyre and understand that by removing me as the anchor of the brand, it can hopefully flourish.
All right. Any MMA fights coming up?
Oh, I might do a fight again, actually. So don't kill me if you're listening to this.
I hear you, buddy. I wish you the best, Bill.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Jesus. So they changed their website. They had that website I showed you a while back to buy tickets to the Fyre Festival. They've now changed the website to be a website selling you the brand. When my team and I launched Fyre Festival 2, it was about two things: finishing what I started and making this right. Over the past 2 years, we've poured everything into bringing Fyre back with honesty, transparency, relentless effort, and creativity. We've taken the long road to rebuilding trust, we rebuilt momentum, and we proved one thing without a doubt. Fyre is one of the most powerful attention engines in the world. I hate the attention economy. I hate the attention economy. Since 2017, Fyre has dominated headlines, documentaries, and conversations as one of the world's most talked about music festivals. Again, you've never done a music festival, so it's a lack of music festival that they're talking about. We knew that Fyre was big, but we didn't realize just how massive the wave would become. That wave has brought us here to a point where we know it's time to call for assistance. The brand is bigger than any one person, and bigger than what I'm able to lead on my own. It's a movement, and it deserves a team with the scale, experience, and infrastructure to realize its potential. I feel like he didn't update his salesmanship while he was in jail, so all of his talking points, this is a movement, they feel very 2015 tech bro language. You know what I mean? I feel like he's still talking like it's 2015. I don't know how to explain it. The marketing lingo is a little different. We decided the best way to accomplish our goals is to sell Fyre Festival brand, including its trademarks, IP, digital assets, market research, and cultural capital, to an operator that can fully realize its vision. There's a clear path for operators and entrepreneurs with strong domain expertise to build Fyre into a global force in entertainment, media, fashion, CPG, and more. For example, in the 2 years since we've launched Fyre Festival, Hollywood and entertainment executives have already licensed the brand to develop properties specifically in theater, music streaming, and free ad-supported TV. In addition, following these challenges we faced in Mexico, we were approached by several Caribbean destinations eager to host Fyre Festival 2. We dove into the process, meeting with national officials, conducting site visits, and were confident we found the ideal location for the festival. While I'm incredibly excited, I can't risk a repeat of what happened in Playa del Carmen, where support quickly turned into public distancing once media attention intensified. For Fyre Festival 2 to succeed, it's clear that I need to step back and allow a new team to move forward independently, bringing the vision to life on this incredible island. This incredible, unnamed island that's definitely very real, though. Would Billy McFarlane, convicted fraudster, lie to you about the same thing he lied about previously? I've stood by my team, our partners, and our fans since day one of Fyre Festival 2. Giving control of the brand to a new group is the most responsible way to follow through on what we set out to do. Build a global entertainment brand, host a safe and legendary event, and continue to pay restitution to those who are owed from the first festival. To the supporters, believers, and builders who've stuck with my team and me, thank you. We'll pick the new group based on their ability to execute the vision of Fyre in a transparent, grand, and expeditious manner. The next chapter of Fyre will be bigger, better, and built to last without me at the helm. Interested buyers can learn more at fyre.mx. Sincerely, Billy McFarland. Brand asset package, brand name, marketing materials, IP, social media accounts, trademarks, Caribbean festival location. You don't own that location, but okay. Content, video, photo, graphic, brand, documentary coverage, domains, media coverage, email lists, artist support, text lists, and our team. Wow. What a product. Fyre Festival has been the most talked about US-based music festival in the world since 2017. Once again, didn't do the festival. An ideal Caribbean location is ready to host Fyre Festival 2 with the full support of the island's elected leadership. The Fyre brand is currently licensed to third parties, specifically developing projects in theater, music streaming, and free ad-supported TV. 422... from what I'm hearing from this, I know the theater project is, someone was making, like, a musical about Fyre Festival, and they wanted to license the name, which, frankly, I don't think you needed to license the name. I think you could have called it something analogous, and we would have understood that it was satirizing Fyre, but whatever. They did that. And then with the free ad-supported TV and music streaming, I don't necessarily think they're licensing the brand because they like Fyre Festival. I just think they think that Fyre is a cool name. Like Fyre, Fyre? Like, that's the kind of tech bro app name bullshit they come up with all the time. Like, that just feels like it's an app name, so they probably just want it for that. 422,000 unique visitors to Fyre.mx in the last 60 days. 190 countries visited Fyre.mx in the last 60 days. 3.9 million organic Instagram views in the past 60 days with minimal posts. And then it has data if you want to take a look at some of their impressions and web traffic analytics. And then, yeah, you can fill out your thing to say, what's your name? What company do you represent? What's your offer? What's your offer? Do you want to own the complete brand or license for a specific use case? Wow, anyone can fill this in. Wow, he is desperate. He just wants... There's not even, like, an I'm not a robot, like, clicker. He's just like, anyone, make me an offer, please. Offer me any amount of money for this. Oh. So anyway, that's what's going on with the Fyre Festival. I don't have anything else to say about it. Pretty expected outcome. I can't imagine it's gonna get weirder. I think that's probably the last chapter in the Fyre Festival story, if I had to guess. But I've been wrong before, so who knows? Offer him $50. I'm sure plenty of people have made joking offers already.
welcome to none other than Travis the
What if I could own Fyre Festival? Then I would own a worthless thing.
Stripper. Travis, great to see you this evening. We don't have Michael with us this evening. He's got some commitments when it comes to the wife. So luckily we got...
Oh, Michael is freaking out. I'm actually concerned about Michael and afraid he's going to maybe hurt someone, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Travis here with us this evening. How you doing this evening, Travis? Let's hear it.
I'm good. Happy Friday, man. It's good to be here.
Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, a lot to unpack here. You know, obviously we saw today a post with Ryan Cohen. At one point there was one time, if people have been watching the show as long as they have, there was a time where there was a lot of DD that was focused on a lot of like Jewish types of aspects, things like that. So it looks like the Jewish DD is in fact making another comeback here.
You see why I picked this part to show you how the PP people are doing? No, that's not a strike. That's not strike one. I literally picked this specifically to show you how poorly they're doing.
When it comes to whatever it is that...
To be clear, Ryan Cohen is Jewish. So they like to point it out.
Ryan Cohen was essentially posting here this late or early evening / late afternoon. What are your thoughts on some of this stuff, Travis? Obviously, there was this photo that we got today. There was also the launch of the new ETF when it comes to game.
Is PP a neo-Nazi? He went to Mar-a-Lago. Does that count?
GameStop as well. What are your thoughts on some of these things before we dive into some of this stuff here?
Interesting photo. I noticed he didn't post it himself, but he did comment on it, and he said, I'm not going to say it out loud, but what does BH stand for?
Is that where this is going? I don't know. Basically, Ryan Cohen took a picture of himself at, I believe, at synagogue, and he had his phylactery on his head, they're doing tinfoil about it, basically.
After attack.
So, someone said it was something here. I'll pull it up. We'll go ahead and read it here. We'll start there real quick. It was BH. Hold on one second. Let me just find this.
Somebody said it's a Jewish thing backstage. I don't know who that is.
Yep.
Flynn. Here it is right here.
Who's House Cat backstage?
House Cat's been on the show a couple times. Good to see you, House Cat.
Well, I had to go translate the name because it's in Japanese. Interesting.
Are you still there? Looks like why did my webcam just crash? Hear this photo and why is this crashing right now? Hold on.
Myself. Well, while we wait for PP to come back, and there he is, picture and all.
That was fucking weird. Yeah. Sorry. Sure who this guy is. Someone said that it's photo. I don't know. That was very odd. All right. So
have my money.
Yeah. Here's the photo that we are referencing here when it comes to Ryan Cohen as well. It says this is
phylacteries on the forehead and wrist. Yeah, he's got I think they primarily talk about the forehead, but yes, he does have the thing wrapped around his arm as well.
It's from Yossi Faro. I'm not too sure who this guy is. Someone said that he goes around rapping.
They don't know what that is? I guess not.
Like very famous.
Like what I don't get, even if you like, and he might know, that's fine. But the thing he's referencing is basically someone said it was some sort of stock ticker device that someone else had developed. It's a whole thing, and they've been doing DD on it.
Jewish people. I don't know if that's true or not. But again, there are a couple things to obviously break down here with what's happened today. Obviously, Ryan Cohen is kind of in this like sort of rapping type of thing. And the thing that Travis didn't want to say here was what Ryan said. He says, those damn Jews, BH.
I'm not having somebody clip that.
Does anyone know what BH is? I thought someone had written under here what BH was. What the hell does the BH mean?
So House Cat backstage said it's a Jewish thing.
Thank Miss Hire.
Hi, buddy. All right, have fun. I love you. And so he says hi. And so I don't know. I mean, somebody said it's a Jewish thing. Okay, there you go, House Cat with the info backstage.
How have they never seen this
Baruch
before?
Hashem?
Like, even if you don't know what it's called or what it is, certainly in some piece of media or something you've seen people like in synagogue or some religious event or something with these on, right?
I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I could be way off the mark here. Doing my best. Blessed is God is the translation.
Feels like they're
basically.
flying dangerously close to neo-Nazi shit. Oh yeah. They make weird comments about Jewishness all the time because Ryan Cohen is Jewish.
So
Blessed is
Like, they've basically espoused that they think that all Jewish people in business are connected and they all, like, look out for each other. They don't say it in, like, a negative way, but, like, they are perpetuating, like, anti-Semitic stereotypes, basically. Even if they aren't taking them as negative, they are negative stereotypes that they are perpetuating.
God. Yeah, that's what people are saying in the chat as
Yeah,
well.
I see it in the chat now too. So I don't know what they're doing.
Someone said Berkshire Hathaway. I don't know. It is weird because it did like pump like $20,000 around that time too, didn't it? So I don't know. It is pretty weird. Nonetheless, but I think one of the main things, obviously, to take from what's going on here is someone had pointed this out too. Ninja Mode. He said that didn't the docket today. We'll take a look at that docket as well. It said released today for the bogus 350 stalling tactic claim have a passage in Hebrew at the end of the manifesto. And I think you have that docket available, right? We can take a look at that.
I have it available. I already translated it.
Ari Bustle. And here's the Hebrew down at the bottom of that page for everyone to see. Let me see if I can make it bigger for everyone. But again, this is very interesting if you ask me, right? I mean, yeah, obviously he's commenting on the picture itself. But again, you know, when you kind of piece these things together with what's going on, like especially with just recently, right? I made a comment to someone earlier today. You know, take into account the fact that the day that he buys, Ryan Cohen buys more shares in GameStop, okay, is the same day that the board essentially settled with their, you know, fraud case and all that stuff. So I do think a lot of these things are in fact connected. Yes, he is, you know, commenting to this person who
I hadn't heard that the board had settled the fraud case. That's interesting. I wonder when we're finally gonna get the final decree on Bed Bath & Beyond's bankruptcy. That'll be a fun episode.
This, I think his name's Yossi, where they went and, you know, did this kind of Jewish tradition. But I do think that there's some kind of code there, right? And someone also said you should take a look at his hat as well. If you see on his hat too, I think someone had
on his hat
it down in here somewhere, maybe not, but his hat, let me see if I can show you guys on here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it says the future
okay, the other guy's hat. I thought they were calling Ryan's thing a hat. Oh god.
Bright is what it says on his hat. You see that there?
Sorry, my expectations just could not be lower for these people.
Make it out. Let me see if I can make it bigger. The future looks, maybe it is bright.
Yeah, it is. Someone has a better picture of it as well. So again, you have to ask yourself, you know, why the timing now, right?
Someone took a picture with him. That's it. It's not a message to you. Someone took a picture of him.
People think that maybe this is in fact just some kind of like, obviously it is some kind of like tradition that they're celebrating things like that, but I do think it's some kind of a message, right? And there's another post that I want to take a look at here, just since we're on the topic of this already.
Can I be that guy and ask what is tefillin?
Yeah, I actually have a post that.
All right, and take your time. If I'm asking prematurely because you want to get to something else first, go ahead.
Why didn't they look any of this up before they streamed?
Question.
No, yeah, I have the tefillin. Yeah, I have this one right here.
That's like the bare minimum you could do is to look this shit up.
I'll go to that one momentarily. Yeah, just in 1 second. So obviously this is from Bobby in 2001. It says at PPC Show, I think you should take a look at this, everybody.
Yes.
And this kind of
Teflon is the Hebrew term for phylactery.
resembles almost like the present, right? I don't know. To me, the first thing whenever I saw kind of Ryan Cohen wrapped up, one of the major things is that obviously some people are pointing out that, maybe this deal is in fact wrapped up. I think maybe that there's
no deal. Bittergrin says, if only there was a free encyclopedia that explains all of this.
very real possibility because
Oh, did you guys hear that Jeremy of the Quartering is like $400,000 in debt because of his dog shit coffee company? That's hilarious.
one of the last tweets that we did in fact see from Roaring Kitty was some kind of like a present, right? That was kind of like up here at the top left. So I don't know, could it just be that he's kind of commenting on this kind of tradition, or is he kind of trying to send some kind
Wait, they're comparing a wrapped gift with the arm part of the Teflon? Oh no.
coded message? I don't know. I believe that, Ryan Cohen kind of posts things for a reason, right? So I do think it's some kind of message that maybe this is in fact
Karma does sometimes exist. No, it doesn't. It's just that the randomness of the world sometimes hurts shitty people too.
wrapped up, if you ask me. So
what is Teflon?
I'll pull it up for you right now.
I'm curious, man. I'm on the edge of my chair.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Amber, doing a Chud Watch, but mostly covering shit like that. Like, I don't want to cover Trump directly or anything like that necessarily, but maybe, like, fails happen. That sounds petty, but, like, basically, things happening to people like that. I know Styx and Hammer got in more trouble, I think.
Teflon is the name given to two black leather boxes with straps, which you saw on him, which are put on by adult Jews for weekday morning prayers and are worn on the forehead and upper arm. They are also called prayer boxes or phylacteries.
Wow! I was bracing myself for PP's attempted pronunciation of phylactery because we've heard him before and sometimes his sight reading skills are not up to snuff. But you know what? He did it. He got phylactery. I'll give it to him.
The entire prayer box and straps are made from the skin of kosher animals as well. That's what it says.
Oh, so it's a religious thing. Okay.
Come on, man! Catch up! We were there 20 minutes ago! God damn it.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is all very interesting. Let's take a look at the docket that has the Hebrew in there, because I'm curious, maybe he's referencing this docket that we saw from today. Do you want me just...
Maybe he's referencing the fact that he's Jewish and is practicing. It's not a message for you. He's living his life.
To read the snippet here, or do you want me to read the entire thing? Because isn't it just like some bogus claim that came through today? Did you happen to take a look through it?
I didn't read it in its entirety. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a completely bogus claim. It's somebody saying, hey, you're saying that we should be class 6, and I have proof that I really maybe shouldn't be. Maybe they have some, sway here that...
Oh, so this is some random person that put in a request to the court that included the Hebrew at the end. I was wondering what the deal was with that.
It's $350.
That has nothing to do with any legality, so it's just some crackpot filing something.
Plan man, pay them. Go for the bigger fish. I'm not worried about this one. And now, if they're saying that the entire class and everything that got moved shouldn't have, that could halt things or hold things up, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help but think that maybe he is, in fact, implying maybe this docket that came in today. I mean, again, like the fact that it has Hebrew here at the bottom. Did anyone actually break down what this Hebrew says, this message here?
It's literally right next to it. It's literally, the translation is right next to it. What are you talking about? Can you not parse this and see that that's the translation right there? Does PP not know how to read documents?
I'm sorry, one more time?
What is the message down here?
It's the writing right next to it. It's the writing it's already translated. How can he not understand that? My brain! Context clues! Context clues!
Let me pull it up on my other screen.
Like, in his head, why is it formatted like this, where there's the Hebrew, and then next to it is the English? Like, what does he think this is? Oh my god, he's so not good at parsing information!
Screen, I had it translated. And it says, and a man will help his neighbor, and to his brother Hezek will say. That's what Google Translate said.
So isn't it what it says right here? They helped every one of his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage.
Yeah. And again, I took a snip, uploaded the image to Google Translate. That's what it gave me. So it's basically the same Bible verse, but in Hebrew.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he could be sorry, I was messaging House Cat here. I don't know. Maybe he could be implying that something is most likely probably wrapping up here, right? I mean, it's obviously been a long time coming. A lot of us have been waiting for quite a while. There was a couple explanations to this. I'll read this guy's post here, and then we'll take a look at some of the docket stuff and some of the stuff that Jake 2B had written as well today. From Shadow Warrior, it says, everything you need to know, I guess. He says these images show a recent meetup between Yossi Faro and...
Okay. I think that's enough of PP. We get it. He's delusional. That's fine. Oh, this MMTLP guy is begging Elon Musk to help him.
Musk, I researched the most effective way to reach you. I sent you a letter, snail mail, to your Tesla facility.
He sent Elon Musk a written letter, physically.
In Texas, upon getting no response, I tagged you in the same letter on X. Due to my small reach, it was unsuccessful. In a final attempt to move heaven and earth to get to your attention, I would like to formally read you a letter that I wrote on behalf of 65,000 suffering people. And if I could just have a little bit more of your time to listen, I would greatly, beyond fathom, appreciate it.
This guy is acting like he's in a goddamn cult. Altered Undying says they are approaching this like I do, a mystery in a box or a movie theory, like I'm a nerd, but this is bad. Yeah, when you're a nerd and you do that, it's just like fun theory crafting. They're doing it in the real world, which is just conspiracy theory, which is not good.
My name is Mark Anthony Thorne. I'm obviously the right brain trader on here. And let me just read you a letter really quick that I wrote you so you can get more of a comprehensive...
Is it bad Eminem wrote a song about this guy a quarter century ago? I'm wondering why got out of bed at all.
...understanding of where I'm coming from. Dear Mr. Musk, I'm writing to bring your attention to a matter of significant concern for thousands of retail investors. The trading halt and subsequent delisting of Metamaterials Series A preferred shares, MMTLP, in December 2022. As someone with a reputation for addressing inefficiencies and advocating for transparency, I respectfully request your consideration of an audit into the MMTLP share count.
He's not an auditor.
Provide clarity and resolution for affected investors. In late 2022, FINRA unexpectedly halted trading of MMTLP just days before it planned delisting, leaving investors unable to trade or transfer their shares. This action followed concerns about irregular trading activity with allegations of unclosed short positions and discrepancies in the reported share count. Despite requests from investors and at least one Congress member for a verified share count, no comprehensive audit has been publicly disclosed, leaving many without answers about the status.
This timeline sucks. It does. It really, really does. I hope I get to live to see a future where America isn't like 40% a cult. Like, I'm not saying people need to agree with me. I just mean, like, it'd be cool if the other political party wasn't a cult. Even if they disagree with me, it would be helpful if it wasn't a literal cult. That would be nice.
Of their investments. The lack of transparency has caused widespread frustration and financial uncertainty for retail investors, many of whom believe an accurate share count could resolve questions about market integrity. In this case, given your role in promoting accountability and your influence in addressing systematic issues, I believe your involvement could...
What about shares in MLP FIM? The real, the real investment was the friends we clopped along the way. Hydrate.
help ensure a fair examination of the MMTLP situation. Sincerely, Mark Anthony Thorne. Elon, an audited share count conducted by an independent, reputable firm would provide clarity, either validating the integrity of the process or exposing discrepancies that demand redress. This is not a call for speculation, but a call for truth, the kind of truth you've championed in other arenas. The MMTLP community does not seek favors or handouts. We seek transparency, a principle you've long upheld, Mr. Musk. Your
Fucking hell. If you're gonna suck his balls like that, at least get on your knees.
track record shows you're unafraid to challenge powerful institutions when evidence suggests they failed the public.
Fucking pathetic. I actually feel bad for most meme stock guys. I don't feel bad for him. He clearly sucks. Oh, the thing I said about Michael. This is the last video we're gonna watch. We're going a little shorter today, because I don't normally stream Mondays anyway. We're gonna do a longer tinfoil tomorrow, though. We'll probably do about 4 hours of foil tomorrow. So last thing, here's Michael from the PP show. Not doing very well. I think he lost some money recently on another, let's call it a play. And he's very upset, and I'm actually kind of concerned about him because the desperation in his voice and the level of conspiracy he's been engaging in has escalated. He's very into QAnon adjacent stuff where he sees pedophiles everywhere, and like he thinks everyone is secretly working with Jeffrey Epstein. He just seems not well. Bittergrin says, look dude, the woman who bore Elon's spawn can only reach him on X. He's never gonna see this video. True.
Reaction, you know, because I think it does seem weird because like his daughter, one, it's his daughter, you know, Sifu's daughter and whatnot. But if you actually look at where she's been and what she's doing, like she's in the center of stealing all of our money. So I think if someone steals all your money with a smile, it doesn't make them a nice person. It doesn't mean you can't aggressively go after them if they're smiling while they're doing it. It just means they're cocky and they don't think they're going to get caught. So like, I think that there is going to be a lot that's going to be exposed about that. I mean, you look at their family, it's their whole family is completely in the center of stealing all of our money. GameStop, Bed Bath, everything.
Your money was not stolen. Your money was lost because you made bad investments and were led on by con artists like PP and Pulte. Your money was not stolen.
So, like, it's not like, you know, I mean, this is like a legit war. And, you know,
Escalation.
a lot of people, all of us have a lot on the line, right? And so I think, you know, we should just keep remembering who the real enemy is, you know? And
yeah, but Michael,
in my opinion,
I think it doesn't. Money doesn't matter to me about.
This is the kind of clip you have in a documentary when things are about to go to shit, and the crime the documentary is about to happen in the narrative of the documentary.
A moral, you know, you should probably leave kids out of things. And
No,
I think
and I
think
get
there's
that,
a lot
but-
of talk like, you know, Kai's is his own person. That's not what really set it off. I think it's the Bill and Chad interaction. So Kai's is on his own island. Even Bill's told him, like, you know, separated himself from him at times. So
right. And I know that, like, looking at, like, it's like, but like, do you know where she works, right? Like she literally, you know, went from BlackRock to I can't remember where else, and then now that she actually is really high up in the Council for Foreign Relations.
Okay, so a rich guy's daughter has opportunities that other people don't? Yes? Nepotism is the thing. People know that? That's not a conspiracy.
Which literally Epstein's there. All these people that have been,
There's the Epstein thing.
you know, stealing from us. Like, I've been putting a lot of effort in to piece together who are all the people that are working together to do, because the heist they did, you know, to have all these tokenized shares and still hundreds of billions of dollars is a huge deal.
No, and
so
I
I'm looking
understand
at
where you're saying.
yeah.
I completely agree with you. But for me, it's like I haven't seen her post negative.
I don't want to make any claims about anything, and I will not. But Michael seems to be very preoccupied with the concept of pedophilia. He uploaded to his own YouTube channel like a 40-minute video on like how prevalent is pedophilia. And it's just got a weird vibe. And again, I'm not saying anything about anyone. Just in my experience, the conspiracy people who get very, 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 very into that stuff.
Activity, and just to kind of throw her in the mix, regardless if she's part of the snake or the part of the body, you know, it's not kind of the head that Sifu represents at Virtu.
So yeah, Michael's not doing good. I think he's getting more paranoid. That's not great. I don't think there was much to say about this guy.
On YouTube, it has been
Basically, he just has another job now, and he still thinks AMC and GameStop are gonna pop, because of course he does. I think that's it for updates on the meme stock people today. There wasn't quite as much. I just wanted to show that a lot of them are continuing to rot. They are absolutely rotting, and it's a shame. Still, there are fewer people involved in it. I've talked about the distillation effect before, where you have fewer people in the movement, but the people that are in the movement are more extreme. And that's exactly what we've seen. As time has gone on, more and more people have left, and those that remain are the most delusional amongst them. And it's interesting and a little bit scary. So, fun stuff. All right, let's see who we're going to raid on Twitch. Like I said, tomorrow I will be back for Tinfoil Tuesday, and we're going to do a Tinfoil Tuesday XL, so we'll be going for probably about 4 hours instead of 3. Who are we going to raid? Thanks Internet is streaming. And is going to be streaming Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Hell yeah. Should I stream Oblivion? Maybe. You love it. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. I will see you soon. And, don't get involved with stock communities on the internet. No bueno. Later, everyone. See you tomorrow.